Hey guys, let me just check that everything is on, because last time when I did stream for the members, I forgot to put the music on, so now it should be on. It's so low on my headphones that I can barely hear anything. Sorry about the noise. If I keep the window closed all the time, I'm gonna like fry myself in here, so I need to have some cooling. Also, it's quite late here compared to how I normally do live streams. I wonder if I should use the same bed. This kind of like it, but then again, maybe right away after doing that previous piece. Also, please let me know if there's something wrong with the audio levels. I think in the last live stream I had really low microphone volume, but that's fixable, I think. Yes. So if it's really quiet, please let me know, because I can't be monitoring my audio myself while I'm doing this. I think this is looking like something that... Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Right. This looks like it's more fun. Also, there are some empty slots in left, so... Really, instead of that color, I'm going to just put this pretty big over here. By the way, I just realized this one trick that you can do in Procreate when I started this stream. This might be something that you already know, but crop and resize. I have always used this basically always only to crop the size of the image, but I realized that when you zoom out and you expand the size, when you are deciding your canvas resolution, this is actually pretty handy way to actually see what those numbers do, because you can see in real time what is the height and width of your canvas, but at the same time, as you can see on the top of the screen, you can see that how many layers with your current hardware can you afford by scaling the canvas that way. So of course, scale the canvas up in the beginning if you can, or if you're doing like a block-in in between, that's fine too. I'm just trying to get something started. Okay. So the brush that I'm using for this, I'm sure that it will be asked many times again. The brush is Easy Bristles, and this is the free brush that I gave away for members this month, and it was another of those like two brushes. The other one is Round Plus, so this is one that has a little bit more character. First, I want to just have all kinds of colors on the canvas, get something started. I can feel what the whole vibe of this thing is. The problem here is that I have such a huge resolution in the beginning that even at maximum scale, these brushes are quite small, but I have already divided all the areas pretty well in the highly sophisticated sketching phase, as you can see. So I think this is not going to cause me too much work, like scrubbing back and forth for these areas. So since this brush has transparency tied to pressure and tilt as well, I think, then that means that I wanted to have a color below to start with, because if you start painting with a brush like this on a white canvas, that white gets just baked into everything and you end up with it's not a good look. Also, it's not easy to fix. You basically have to repaint everything if you start by painting on white canvas. Like, it's pretty much unsalvageable. So, it's so easy to just slap in background color, so I recommend doing that. Also, I saw that somebody's from Sweden, so hello to my neighbors there. Oh, I put the date in the future, so I don't know if I can change it. But then again, yeah. Starting a live stream is always such a hassle, and now I made a conscious decision that I'm not going to even record any of this, so I just wanted to get started, honestly, otherwise these will never happen. But there are always like at least 1 hour of setting up. Like when I get up from the couch and think that now I'm going to start a live stream, if I can set up everything in an hour, that's still pretty quick. It's exhausting. Yeah, there's no other way of saying that. And every time you think that you have the whole system down, something breaks. Like right now, I realized that I don't have any thumbnail, so then I have to open the Photoshop, and then Photoshop crashes or does some weird graphics card glitches, and oh my god, I just want to get a thumbnail like in 2 minutes before I start. Also, that is such a thankless job, because you know that once the stream is finished and I'm going to replace the stream thumbnail with whatever painting this is going to be, that temporary thumbnail is always, it's useless. Because I'm sure that most of you probably just randomly didn't see the thumbnail and thought like, I'm gonna see what's happening here, and came here. You probably already know what this channel is. If not, I'm sorry for all of this rambling, and it's always going to be this chaotic if you're new here. Okay, I just love these colors. It's like the way that these colors are blending here. This whole thing. Yes. I hope I don't ruin that. I'm not gonna create a new layer because it adds up so much more. I can fill these areas with painting on the same layer, because it brings all those like mistakes and makes everything look a bit more painterly. What's your thoughts on drawing with references versus drawing with imagination? Whenever you don't know how to draw something, always look up a reference, like always, and never apologize for it, ever. I recommend always taking reference photos when you can, when you see something that you feel interested in and think that this might be fun to draw later. Always take photos. I took 3 photos today on a run of just random things that I thought that might be fun to paint later. Also, there's absolutely no merit or award or art prize for painting without reference. Like, if you show me a painting and tell me that like you did it without reference, like I have 0% more respect for you for doing that. But if there's something wrong and you said that you struggled with it and you didn't find a reference, then I'm just like, I don't understand what you're doing. But whenever you can like gather your own references, I think that's ideal. Especially if you have access to something that you can see in real life, because that way you can understand the three-dimensional shape a lot better. I think like the last option should be like looking for photos online, because those have been taken by somebody else and they already have like their own artistic angle by the artist who took them. One in-between reference resource that is really good is 3D models, and there are tons of like really good free 3D models that you can download and are very accurate, and they allow you to see the entire 3D shape that you can rotate. So when you are drawing something, that you don't need to just replicate it from a 2D image, but you can have the opportunity to actually understand what it is that you are seeing, why those lines are forming that way. Mikko, Apple updated their iPads again. They didn't update their Pro iPads. How do you feel about updating hardware now? Well, they don't have a better iPad out yet that is better than this one. So this was mostly more affordable versions, which I do think are interesting. Like, I'm personally super interested in, and this is for like really dumb reasons, but if I had more money, I would definitely want to have that mini iPad mini version, because it's so cute and it supports the same pencil now, and it would be just really handy to have when traveling. But I'm never traveling anywhere to begin with, and also I'd have no problem carrying this bigger iPad with me everywhere. Yeah, I have painted on boats, airplanes, cars, buses. Like, there's just no end to it. I have taken this iPad absolutely everywhere, and I'm going to keep doing that. But if I was a person who was bothered by carrying my iPad everywhere, then I definitely want to get the one. As you see, like, I'm using like only a fraction of the screen right now. I'm painting anyway, so having a big screen is nice, but it's mostly nice for reasons that have nothing to do with painting. More about me being a YouTuber And if I had an iPad mini, of course, I wouldn't be able to do any videos on it because my massive hand would just cover the entire screen and you wouldn't be able to see anything. That would probably not be very fun or entertaining to anybody. Yes, because and tanning at the same time. No tan here. By the way, I hate tanning. Like, just there's nothing about it that I enjoy. I like going on vacations, but sitting on a beach and doing nothing but tanning, for me, is not enjoyable in any way. I would rather sit at some coffee shop and paint or listen to an audiobook or do something. But for me, sitting on a beach and tanning is not my idea of a good time. There are so many like more fun and enjoyable ways to get skin cancer that I would rather do any of those. Yeah, sorry about the music, Fabulous Fauna. I really didn't notice that I didn't have it pressed on. It looks like a postmodern that would hang a museum. Watch me ruin it. I'm going to make it so accessible that no museum touch it. There were all these different colors in the foliage when I was running because the autumn is coming. So I think I'm like kind of inspired by that stuff here. I think the beauty with having a background color like this is like when two edges meet and you paint by like being careful of not going over those edges, then you have this corner tension that comes from the way that you paint it. Like that's one of the things that I'm tired of. definitely part of my aesthetic in these like more painterly things. You deserve more followers. I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy with the amount of followers I have. Honestly, I sometimes feel kind of unprepared for the amount of people that are following me. I feel like I still have so much to learn, especially about the whole video production stuff. Like with art, I'm pretty confident with posting my crazy stuff online. I don't much I care about what other people think, but I don't let it control me. But when I'm making videos, like it's so much about like me trying to make it as good as I can with my own skill set, and yet at the same time knowing that like very very lacking in my own skills of like putting together a video. I was really happy with the treehouse video, but what I didn't tell in that video is that like I shot like a whole day of talking head for that I ended up scrapping completely because I just thought that the photo was so bad. It was badly lit in a wrong angle, and it was just like rough to look at me talking. So I decided to record it again without any talking head and then just focus on rewriting the script again and again in the recording. I don't know. So there's no like process of like 1, 2, 3. Here's how I make a video. It's every time it's just like trial and error and failing and trying to get it good enough that I can hit the publish button. But it's so stressful. It's stressful in a way that art used to be for me, like way back in the day when I was starting. So I feel that beginners first thing, definitely with the video side of things. Have you ever drawn a portrait? Yes. Any? I don't know how to elaborate on that. I've done lots of portraits, especially in art school. My favorite piece in one of my exhibitions that I made was a portrait, and it was also the first piece that was sold. It was a group exhibition. I got a really good spot for that piece. And that piece is called What Do Bears Dream Of? And it's one of my favorite Sumi-e ink portraits. I also like that work carved out of magic that I have as an avatar on Instagram. some of this music is from the video series that I am making for Gumroad about that one full breakdown of a video of a painting that was done without line art. And today I was writing the last hour of that, and it seems like I've been doing this one video series for forever now. It's going to be so scary to publish it. Also, this is going to be my first tutorial type of a video that I am releasing on Gumroad. So I think subconsciously the project is going slower as I'm getting closer to the finish line, because I'm just so nervous about just letting go of it and calling it done at some point. I am learning new things all the time, and I think like this is one of those projects that like really like pushes me to learn new things about video production. For example, it's the first time that I have learned how to create subtitles for videos, and the subtitles will like as an optional file because Gumroad has their own layer thingy that had to be in a certain format. So I also learned how to convert subtitles into different subtitle formats. The weird thing is that like most people who know that I do digital paintings, they think that I am this like big computer tech guy that is basically almost coding on my free time as I'm doing art, so they don't understand that I am just painting and I don't know anything about the tech stuff, and all of that stuff for me is really new and hard to learn. And I remember that this was also like the constant misconception when I was working in a game company, that people thought that I am making games by coding them or something. They didn't understand that I was like designing cars and features and browsers. One day I was just making gloves the entire day. Not really computery stuff. Have flexibility in the ground elements. Put this on. Here, okay, lines they do not help. What was I thinking? But I love how carefree these sketch lines look. That looks like that artist was having fun and had no worries about the consequences of not giving me more to go with in this live stream. That version of Mikko was just like, oh, I wrote this forest monster and now we're done. So YouTube has blocked this one comment that I'm now going to unblock, and it says, I'm half an hour late. YouTube, what the hell? Why was that censored? Gonna see if I missed some comments. iPad Air. I use iPad Air 4. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that. Moose tree. Yeah. I'm going to take away the line art just to see colors without all the forms attached to them. They work in the composition. They form some kind of color harmony. I don't think I am there yet, so that's part now. kind of like this playlist. I'm gonna put it a little bit for myself. Didn't levels. Oh. Someone's name is Bucket. That's fun. I wish I could have more. The light entire scene, and that's going to decide so much of the mood I can wait longer. That I remember correctly, these rest monsters in your hand. I'm getting like some kind of a mood from this. All that I really need from pretty much any image. I can get to the mood technique. But for me personally, I think if a painting doesn't have a mood, pretty much you. Actually, these would have been like handy to have on their own layer. No? And if I want to punch up more contrast here later, I can do that. But I am kind of here relying on the graphic look of the sky to act as a contrast point. So even though there isn't a lot of value contrast here, just the sharpness of those shapes to pull in more attention. Otherwise would if it were just soft clouds. Yeah, just like big numbers said out loud by Bucket. Thank you. I'm aware that those milestones have passed, and I don't know. I'm super happy that I got 200k, and I honestly don't think that there's any chance of me getting to the next milestone. So that's why, for me, making an unboxing video out of that thing, it's a huge deal. Because as I have said multiple times on this channel, when I really kind of wanted to go seriously with this YouTube stuff, I watched those YouTube play button unboxing videos. Like, I was completely addicted, and it was just one of those things that kind of kept me motivated. And I had this kind of fantasy in my mind that someday I would get the black box and I would be able to make my own video. And I know that this is like content that pretty much nobody on this channel probably cares about, because like, why would you? But I still want to make it for myself because it's what I want to do. And I want to have like some kind of a deadline, because at this point it has been so many months since it came that I didn't want to rush it, because like, why? If it's something that I want to enjoy, I didn't want to do it back when I was like doing those concert videos and I was on such a tight schedule, so I didn't want to squeeze in that like 100k video there just because I need it. I thought that like, this is on my schedule, only for me. But I'm going to vaguely commit to doing the unboxing video before I get to 150, let's say. I think after 150 it would be kind of awkward, because then I will be closer to 200, and which makes that whole video seem kind of make. But no promises. I will get to it when it feels like a fun thing to do. But my next video will probably be that frequently asked questions thingy. I asked people on Instagram, sent me some questions, and I answered a lot of them there as well. The remaining questions, the best ones, I'm going to turn into a video and just answer those. And I thought that in that video I could just have like some painting that I don't talk about, and that would give me an excuse to just paint for fun without thinking about why am I going to turn this in, you know, all that stuff. question. What is your favorite color? Probably blue. Blue is just so easy for me. But I've been doing a lot of purple paintings lately. This is not because I love purple that much, but because I'm so bad at using purple that I made a conscious decision that I'm going to just now learn this color, and I think I have made some serious progress over the past 3 years with purple. But before that, purple to me was all like one of those colors that would winning the entire thing always. Do you reckon you could achieve a similar artistic style to yours using vector graphic tools? Well, to my more graphic illustrations, those could definitely be done with vectors, but it would be a waste of time, honestly, because painting it is so much faster that everything is doable with vectors, but like it wouldn't make any sense. I love your animation tutorials, like that flying bear. Oh yeah, that levitating bear. Why don't you do animation with different brushes? I don't understand what you mean by different brushes. Animations take a really long time. I remember that with that levitating bear, just getting those arms to do this sort of like flapping motion very slowly, that took pretty much the entire day, and it seems like so much work for so little. I'm really happy with that end result, especially with the sound design and everything. I think animation is fun, but I will probably do it when I feel like it's a project that is kind of like within my skill set, and I don't have to go into like studying like full-blown hand-drawn animation, because I'm not an animator, and it's a skill that I respect a lot, but at the same time I know that I don't want to take on challenges that are not fun for me. And getting into a situation, like for example, if I was to do realistic human running animation, that would definitely be something that would be a good normal task for an animator, but for me it would take an entire month, and it mostly just about learning animation. That's something I enjoy. Like the same way that I know how to do 3D sculpting a little bit, I would never do a final version of a artwork by sculpting. It would always involve some kind of like a 2D editing phase. I think this Easy Bristles brush is Easy Bristles. I think it's a fitting name for this. Like, it's pretty easy to use, but at the same time it has a bit more bite in that texture and, for example, the round brush. I like that. I think it fits for a piece like this. One aspect that I was thinking of like going over in that video series that I'm making, I actually already wrote a script for this part, but it's about how using only one brush, it's not only about streamlining that one area where you're just opening your brush menu constantly, but it's about learning how that one brush behaves. Because you have probably at some point in your life used one of like the default brushes that are in Procreate, or bought someone's brushes, like for example my brushes, and used it once and thought like, okay, I don't know how to use this, and then just moved on right away. But instead of like switching to something else that is easier, like if you learn how one brush works, then every single brushstroke that you make with it, there are no surprises. Brushstroke shouldn't cause you to think like, oh wow, that was not what I was expecting ever. Like once you use only one brush for an entire painting, or you have enough mileage with one brush, you learn to control it in a completely different way. Because every brush, not just mine, but everyone's brushes, they behave differently depending on the angle that you use them in, or how hard you're pressing that stylus against the glass. And that muscle memory, like that learning part, cannot be skipped in any way. You just have to paint hours and hours with that one brush, and then you get like a feel, like a real feel of like, if I do this, then I will know that those kind of brushstrokes are going to happen without even doing it and then seeing it. That's true, but you know what to expect how you use that brush. So that's like one reason why I recommend like kind of sticking to the brush that, of course, a brush that is easy for you to use, it has like own inherent merit as well, but sticking with one brush to learn how it works, you get more out of it. Okay. I mean, for example, like all the default Procreate process, I'm sure that they know what they're doing. They wouldn't just put in a useless brush in there to mess with you. Like, whoever made that probably had an idea of how it works. So those are the brushes that I especially recommend spending more time with. This is Easy Bristles brush. Somebody was asking again in the comments. I recently found your channel. Is this your full-time job? Yes, I'm a full-time freelancer now. And I think I've been now over a year, just about a year. It's still a roller coaster. It's also one of the questions that was asked in that question thing on Instagram. Definitely not easy, or it's an adventure, definitely. But so far, I don't regret it. But whenever I talk about becoming a freelancer, I want to avoid like easy answers. It's not easy. There are many things that like one should consider before going freelance. Also, it wasn't like I suddenly made a snap decision to do. Like this was a plan that I started years ago. Really happy with that upper tummy shape. Are we getting a dog visit? Yes. Also, I had a lot of questions about Vivi. Mostly about what breed she is. She's a Welsh Cardigan Corgi. I keep forgetting that I don't have like a bazillion layers, that and everything is the same layer mostly, so. It looks as though this sorry, Zeta Manscream, that's quite a name. Zeta Manscream is saying it looks as though his brush opacity is set to 100%, correct? So how are his brush strokes still transparent a bit? Because I am not crushing the stylus in the cream, so it has opacity partly set to pressure, among other things. It's multiple settings. Christina is saying, by the way, Christina is part of the angry mob, so high fives. Recently started drawing again every day after taking a break for 15 years. Wow, that must be a strange experience. It's super helpful to draw by listening to your encouraging videos. Old skills are waking up fast. Yeah. That's really cool that you decided to get back into art. I think a lot of people get burned out by art because they just put so much expectations on it. Like, for example, art is supposed to become your job, and it's rarely the case. And that can prevent a lot of people from enjoying art. I mean, I enjoy running, but I don't think I'm ever going to be a professional runner with my speed, especially. I love this song, by the way. Also, I've noticed from the comments sometimes that people are very afraid to start painting at later age. Like, some people think that you have to always be an artist to be an artist. You can't just start. It doesn't really matter how old you are. If you like keep painting consistent, you will get better at it. And unless you're like almost dying, you probably have enough time to learn not just one style, but multiple styles. Also, someone was asking me where I'm from. I'm from Finland, and I am in Finland. Vivi is having one of her traditional late night freakouts. That probably means that she has taken that rope bear toy that she has and running around it, growling at it, sometimes barking. This can get really intense sometimes, and then he at some point will pass out. There's nothing that I can do before that happens. One hour and 10 minutes. I'm pretty like proud of myself for getting the illustration this far in 1 hour. Like, honestly, go me. This is not a disaster. Like, that whole foreground ish, but still, I can fix that. My biggest struggle is finding out what to draw. This is a struggle that nobody has for a long time in any of the art courses that I have done. Because, like, for example, when I've done these like speed painting sessions, that I make the students paint, for example, a new painting every 10 minutes, and then every 8 minutes, and then every 5 minutes, and I am doing this with them, so it's not just like torture. But at some point, inevitably somebody is going to scream, "Oh, I don't know what to do," and then I will just scream out like the most boring, dumbest drawing ideas, like do a plate or do a toilet picture or whatever, like a scenery of your backpack right now. And then immediately when I shout out these boring ideas, they're like, okay, it's fine, I will do something else, because anything is better than like a bad idea that somebody else gives you. I think my brain is saying that these trees should be rusted orange, but my intuition is saying that like I'm rainbow colors here. Hurt any. Neil DT UK saying, I stopped drawing when I left school at 16. I started back up last year at the age of 56. Wow, that's a break. Also, I think it's cool that you got back to it. Hi Mikko, what's the song title? The previous one? I can try to look for it. The previous song title was the part where things start to change. Zeus is saying, I love running as well. I recently ran a local half marathon and felt continue. Not so great afterwards, but happy I did it. Yeah, I would love to run another half marathon, but it's so late in the fall that I don't know if I want to run out there in the cold blizzard or thunderstorm. It would be really nice to do that. But I'm also kind of like battling always like my body with long distances because things break this age. There's one very serious dog has strong opinions right now. And she doesn't feel like going to sleep yet. My boyfriend is giving her quiet act. Lots of people who have quit art and returned to it. I think that's great. Just read Gabriel's comment as well. Rabino is saying, do you have any advice on how to be more loose with your art? I always make my paintings very precise and then end up hating them. How can I be more loose? Time limits. Set yourself some really harsh time limits. Think about how long it usually takes you to do a painting, and then divide that time by 10 and give yourself a deadline of finishing that painting in that time. And then make another one right away. That is important to have momentum where you are doing paintings in quick succession. So you might do, like, for example, 3 paintings in a day, and then a single painting isn't that important. If like most of those fail and you get that one great painting out of it, you will still think that it's a beneficial exercise. But you have to stick to that time limit yourself, otherwise this will not work. Or start a live stream. Well, as I have said, the purpose of these live streams is not for me to finish a piece, but what I am focused on is getting the visual impact and the main design elements all in the picture. So when people see the finished piece in my Instagram gallery, they don't think that it's a completely different painting at that point. There aren't any rules that I like stop myself from doing when I'm doing the polishing later, like color correcting and such, but so far I've always been able to finish the painting based on those ideas that I come up with during these live streams. It also prevents me from just spending hours and hours on like details, like very zoomed in, where people can't really even see what I'm doing. I don't think that would be interesting streaming content. I do a lot of live streams that I from the middle of the process sometimes. For my members, like in my last piece, there was like one instance where I did a live stream where I was painting the foliage, and I want to include those in the membership so that people have like a more realistic idea of what to expect from painting bigger projects, because sometimes it's just like you are painting a wall or a tree that day, and that's the whole like progress that you have made on that one single image that day. So it's not at all the same as in these live streams. In these live streams, like it's like really fast painting, which is also exciting for me. I love doing these, but this is definitely not a realistic picture of like how all of my paintings get done, or even like what that polishing is going to look like for this painting afterwards. It's going to be very slow and like sometimes small tweaks and giving it some time. And sometimes I just have the iPad open attached to a power source. Like for example, right now I'm attached to my Nintendo Switch board. And then I have it on a stand, actually this stand that I have this camera on right now, and then I'm doing stuff around the house, like for example drinking my morning coffee, and then I have the picture open like this, and then I just watch it. I spent so much time just like watching my own paintings in the last stage before I do those like small tweaks, and then I keep re-evaluating the composition, and if there's anything in the details that is distracting from the composition from working and so on. I already forgot to which kind of question this was an answer to, but like if this rambling was an answer to some question that I was reading out loud, I hope that was sufficient. Also, I'm sorry. It's really hard to kind of keep track of everything at the same time. I'm completely addicted to this like one sauce that I now add to my coffees. It tastes like burnt wheat popcorn, and it's sinful. I'm completely nullifying all the running that I have done earlier today by just having that one drink, which is terrible. My plan with this layer, turn down the opacity quite a bit, then make layer where I am kind of like take outlines, fill ones, anymore. Create this graphic looking. I think with this piece, when I'm using this kind of a style to it, I am kind of thinking about describing this forest monster like a child would explain it to their parents, the way that some kind of details are kind of not believable or missing, and how some features are exaggerated. And then, because it's a story, you kind of like buy into it kind of by accident. That's like my plan. For me, when I get to that expression, that kind of lets me have that kind of like childlike excitement, my own paintings. It's something that I never stop enjoying. When I see that in a painting on my wall, when I see a painting like this, and like I can already tell that like when I look at this, trying to explain this in a coherent sentence, but like I'm having so much fun painting in this way, and I care so little about what other people think about this end result, and I'm just like really enjoying this right now. And the way that I'm painting, I think I am going to be able to look at this painting and all these like brush strokes right here, and when I look at these brush strokes, then I get back into this feeling of like how it feels to do something like this silly while being this focused on this commitment to this silliness. And when I see this painting on my wall, I know that I will be able to get back into the feeling. That's really the whole point of like why I want to make these. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate you all being here, and I love you for keeping me company during this time. But to be honest with you, this painting is not for you. Like, it's for me. Like, all of my paintings are pretty much for me. They are done for selfish reasons and because I enjoy them. I don't know if I could like do art in any other way, because there's enough time in my life when I'm making these really difficult client projects that when I have the opportunity to make something for myself, like I take full advantage of those situations and make something as fun as possible. Now you really start to kind of like see the overlap of all of those brush strokes, and this is where painting everything on the same layer eventually starts paying off. And you have that build-up of color. God, I need to scroll back to see what's happening here. Let's just say Mikko made me spend $1,000 to get back to art. Oh my god. I feel guilty for that. Bought myself an iPad Pro set. Yeah. iPad Pro is the most expensive one, so that's on you. You had plenty of more affordable options. That's not on me. You wanted to buy luxury. Do you ever find yourself overworking your paintings? How do you know when to stop and say you're done? Well, I'm never not in a hurry to finish a painting. So I am always on the lookout for those moments when a painting could be done. But when I'm overworking something, like for example, when I am zoomed in like this and then I later realized that I was working on a detail that actually hurts my composition and my main visual impact instead of helping it, then I just delete it completely. I made this one video about this whole topic called how to avoid visual clutter in your paintings. And that applies to, that is also a graphic painting, graphic drawing, that is not a painting. Yeah, I have like no mercy to details if they are getting in the way of my main message. That is more important. Whenever you see me like making brushstrokes in the beginning where I say that like I hope I don't ruin this area later, I don't mean that. Like no area in my painting is sacred. They need to be deleted. I'm going to try to scroll the chat, but it's really hard. Do you use your own process or the Procreate ones? Yes, I always use my own brush, and I always use one brush at a time. This brush is the one that I made for my members in the last download package. Hello, new digital painter after years of doing graffiti and photography. Oh, that's interesting. I would love to try graffiti someday. Seems so intimidating because, I don't know, do the paints cost a lot? I would assume that you are spending quite a lot of money on paints when painting an entire wall. Your videos have helped me a ton with learning my style and process. Thank you. I will look into that music recommendation later. I will happily take all music recommendations that you might have. I just love finding new music paint to. But quite often I am listening to these collections where I can buy music licenses to use on this channel, because on this channel I use so much music that I am basically constantly searching for new music. So if you think that I am, for example, painting 6 hours a painting, for that painting video I am probably listening to 40 hours of music to find the tracks that I am going to use. I completely understand why you draw small smiley faces in your paintings. It always makes me smile and laugh, which helps me finish a painting. Just something like that really uplifts. Yeah, me too. It's like painting yourself a new friend. Who wouldn't enjoy that? By the way, did anybody come from that story that I posted on Instagram here? It was the first time that I used this new sticker link feature. Is the sticker itself a link, or do you still need to do the swipe up function? I would really love to know this, because then I need to include instructions on that story that people need to swipe up for the link to work, or if it's like a press this sticker. I like that update. I think the swipe up is always like quite unintuitive. This is like one of my favorite live stream playlists so far, I have to say. I feel kind of guilty because this is music that is used in that video series that I'm using, but like you don't hear any of this music in there because I'm constantly talking. I have 4 hours of narration in that video series because I don't know why I needed to punish myself that way. But anyway, this is really like background music that this is the first time that I've actually listened to it as well. Can you give me a suggestion so I don't be lazy to give details on my art? So you want to give your art more details or less details? This is a question by Chuyu. The members' process are different always. Members got watercolors for Bear's brush set for free when I launched it. That month it was downloadable for my members, but it's not available anymore there. But I always make sure that like my members get all of my stuff that I make, so it's the best deal out there. People who want to support me, and it's the members who have kind of also allowed this live stream to have this quality, because all of this stuff, all of these lights and gear and updating the iPad, it costs a lot of money. Like the overhead costs of running a YouTube channel, like wow, I'm lucky that I didn't know that in advance, because it would have scared me a lot. I'm never going to be one of those like YouTuber coaches who says that like all you need to do is like have a phone and you can make YouTube videos, because it does take more and you will spend that money and you'll be surprised by how much equipment costs. Right now I got a receipt on my watch that I have just sent 62 euros to Adobe for all the programs that I am paying monthly subscription fee for. Good reminder. Good timing too. They heard that I was talking about money, and or just like somebody at Adobe was like, oh yeah, I need to take everything out of Mikko's bank account right now. I definitely want an angry Luffy. Yeah, that's a good title for a channel with your music playlists. Yes. Christina is saying you don't need to swipe up, but you need to click a link that pops up from the button you put in the story. Okay. It's like a button. It shows a link to YouTube in the ring of stars. Opens a browser, Instagram. Yeah. I didn't realize it was a link. Oh. Yeah, the Instagram window is restricting. But I realized that once I open it, I get to a button that allows me to open it in YouTube. So it gets rid of that like cage of Instagram around it anyway. But it's just their way of like trying to prevent people from leaving the platform through links, which I think is like, it's gross. I mean, it's so anti-consumer. I don't know. I've been feeling weird about the direction that Instagram is taking lately. Today, when I opened my Instagram, like it really hit me how it has turned into a video sharing platform, because there was just like one video after one video and more videos. I have nothing against that, but I think Instagram's strength was that it was the only platform out there for that type of image sharing, and obviously I like that. Now every platform is kind of turning into TikTok. Weird. Also, it's not the type of stuff that I like to consume myself. I know that I'm saying this literally a day after I just posted a YouTube short, but when making those YouTube shorts, you have to kind of like condense everything down into just like one single thing. And art is rarely that simple. It's usually like you need to understand like context and background information and all of that stuff, and before you really get into like any deeper conversations. So that's why I prefer like long format videos here. And I like watching longer format videos as well. Because, I usually watch YouTube videos when I'm painting, and I don't want to keep navigating at the same time all the time. So that's why I usually make choices based on how long a video is. And if it's a short video, it's a negative quality about a video, not a positive one. like for Fish is asking, do you teach at university? Right now, I'm not teaching anywhere. Mrs. R is saying yes, Adobe software is expensive. It is. Also, a new Angry Mob member. Welcome. Be sure to download that line art for my last piece. Not because of the line art itself, but because there is that paper texture, and that's a tiling paper texture, and you want to save it somewhere where you can easily access it, because I promise you it is so handy to have those. Whenever you need to like get a tiling paper texture, it's so hard to find one online that is free, copyright free, and there's like so much stuff that you can do with it. I'm thinking of doing a whole like texture pack of tiling textures, because I just think this is such an easy problem to solve for artists out there. And I have ordered a new scanner for making brushes and stuff, but it hasn't arrived. But when my scanner arrives, I promise you I'm going to make a texture pack for painting that will be available for members, because like it's something that I actually actively need all the time, and every time it's such a hassle when I just want to have like a nice paper texture at a high resolution or a tiling one. Takes all day to find, or people charge possible prices out of those. Do you use any different tools for paintings that require hard edges with perspective? I could use this tool for a painting with hard edges. This tool is so flexible that I wouldn't pick, like, for example, pastel on wood brush that I used on a recent fox painting. That I wouldn't use for hard edges. But then I wouldn't choose it for a painting like that. But in most cases, brushes aren't that limiting. Once you know how to use a brush, you can use it for any painting, any subject. Also, a brush doesn't define the style of your painting, you do. I really like the way that these colors go together. Nothing about it. Also, just like at this point when I can see the overlapping. I'm going to change the shape of these horns a little bit. Okay, I think I have a lot of stuff already, so I probably should experiment with editing a little bit. No. I think this foreground area definitely needs a bit more explaining. I'm almost at 2 hours, so that seems like a kind of like a clean ending point for a stream, but I just wanna do a little bit more. Different textures. Sorry that I'm so quiet. I need to focus on this. I'll check the chat. Second. I can't English language. Wait. How many hours goes into your art process? Definitely depends on what painting I'm working on. I love these colors that I have on the camera right now, by the way, with these lamps. I should have like moved them into some sort of like visible position the entire duration of this stream. Yeah, I like those lamps. This is, yeah, there are so many, that is not just like one series of lamps, it's hanging from the ceiling, so there are tons of them. Uyo Cult is asking, I don't think I've seen line art to download. When did it go up? Yeah, it went up around the time when I did that live stream of the treehouse. It's in the community posts for members. There's no schedule for streams. I just do this when I have the opportunity. Like, for example, right now, my boyfriend was taking care of Ivy during her evening walk and stuff, so I knew that I could do this live stream. Also, I haven't done a late live stream in a while, so I wanted to do one, because usually during my normal work days, I can do a live stream for my lunch or after, but during that time it's usually midnight in US, so usually people have been pretty upset that I am doing live streams at a wrong time for them, and I understand that that is unfortunate. That is the case. So now that I had the opportunity to do a live stream at this time, I wanted to do one. Also, we were just watching TV, like Mr. Robot, and I thought that I had just come from my evening run, and I was feeling like quite exhausted already, and I thought that, do I want to do a live stream, because I have no idea. So I made this sketch during the first minutes of watching that TV show, and I immediately knew that, like, okay, I have an idea, this is it. There's no like other sketch to this, like this is just the whole drawing that I wanted to do for this. And at that point I knew that, like, okay, I have an idea, I can do a live stream. Of course, I could do a live stream like I normally do, because during the day when I start live streams, it's quite common for me that I don't have any idea before I even start. But like, this is literally my bedtime here. So that's why I need to stop soon, because otherwise you will notice that I'm going to fall asleep. I go to sleep like a grandma, like really early. And then I also wake up around 5 or 6 by myself without an alarm clock. That's the other side of it. Find the right color. There it is. Sometimes when you're looking for a color and then you're just making the wrong color, it can be frustrating. Okay, I have probably like way gone past that 2 hour limit already. I just got too obsessed. Whatever this is that I'm thinking that I'm doing right now. I think it's promising. Okay, let's check the chat. I wish I could do layer effects in Procreate, like in Photoshop, because that would kind of give you a better idea of what I'm going to do to this painting later. But I'm just going to do this overlay trick that is quite common for me. that already punches up things quite a bit, but I will probably limit those like higher saturation areas to places where I actually want to have that punched up. Like for example here. A little bit here. Okay. Also, Puyo, if you don't find the line art link, ask me in some of like the membership videos, and I can give you a link to that community post there. Check the last comments, and then I will put this in full screen. First of all, if anybody is leaving right now, thank you for joining this stream. It was really nice that you all could make it here without like any further announcements. Do you ever lose touch with your creativity? How do you get back to drawing then? I just start. I do like sometimes feel like really uncreative, but it might be that I'm just tired. So I also allow myself to be tired, and I don't put like a scary label on it, like some people say right away when they are feeling tired that they have an artist block. Sometimes I just need a nap. I know that when I finished the treehouse video, I played Zelda Breath of the Wild the entire day. I woke up and I just went on my couch and I spent the entire day in my underwear playing the master mode, which I'm like 100%ing this time. That was probably too much for everybody. So just start when you want to paint and you don't feel like it, because the momentum will come. But if you keep waiting for it, that will probably not going to happen. But it's more likely that you will feel creative once you start working on a painting. Just start. In my country, it's 2 p.m. So supposed to sleep. Yes, it's late here as well. Okay, great. Puyo found it. Mrs. R, I don't know how to advise you how to find the community posts, but also for you, if you are unable to find it, just give me a comment in any of the membership videos and I will give you a link later. Okay, I'll end the stream here. Again, thanks everybody for joining, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.